Welcome to the Dummy-Kruger channel, everyone. Today's video takes place at Kennedale Police Department in Kennedale, Texas. My new best friend, Cody Highroller, goes there with an acquaintance to inquire about some assault charges that the acquaintance picked up recently. Cody has been on his own crusade ever since an arrest took place in 2021, where Cody was accused of and eventually arrested for some sort of domestic violence charges that would eventually be dropped. For a deeper dive into Cody's past criminal record, please go to Andre Sloan's channel linked below, where he does a phenomenal job breaking all of this down. Cody and his acquaintance only stay on this topic for a few minutes before jumping into some of the silliest theories I've heard in quite some time. Let's check those out together.
Do you have any documentation to show how many arrests have been made and what the charges are, and if this type of stuff's going on
that
here?
Is an open records request, and again, I'm going to have to print you a copy because.
And you guys will release your open records?
I'm sorry?
Well, you guys will release your open records and show the arrests you guys are making here and what the charges are?
Now, that is an issue you have to take up with the records department. That's not my department. There are laws. And,
where's your records department at? Because I'd like to know what kind of arrests are being made here.
You know it's a holiday, right?
I mean, like I said, I'm not going to debate whether it's a holiday or not.
She's not here because it's a holiday, which is why that was closed, because it's a federal holiday. So the ones of us that are patrolling the streets that have to work on holidays, we're the only ones here. So there's no admin.
So this part of the video is what really caught my eye. Is Cody Highroller somehow under the impression that fines, fees, and court costs from this small rural town in Texas is somehow giving money to other countries? I really cannot wait to find out his explanation for this.
You've got 3 police officers.
Front desk person.
What is the number? I just want to know what the number one offense you've seen people go to jail for here is within your
DWI.
DWI?
Right off the top of my head, DWI.
So you guys are patrolling these cars out here heavily then? Because that's mostly pulling cars over.
Okay, you do understand where you're at, correct?
Yeah.
Do you know how large our city is?
No, I don't know how large it is, but I know where I'm at.
Would you like to know?
Well,
Sure.
I can tell you it's about 8,000 people.
8,000 people.
Do you know
And the
how
number
many?
one offense that you've seen is DUI?
DWI, yeah.
And are these people doing field sobriety tests?
I'll give you a little piece of info. You know what our highest call load is? Do you know what our highest calls are? What we get called out most on?
What, trespassing?
Yes. Alarm calls.
So burglaries are the number one, you think?
Not burglaries. I didn't say burglaries. I said alarm calls.
That's interesting. You say the number one calls you guys are getting that people want the police help are for alarms, but the number one arrestable offense is DUI you've seen. So people aren't calling for the DUIs.
Just when you think the majority of these so-called auditors couldn't get more ridiculous, Cody Highroller strolls in and posits that drunk drivers aren't calling the police to inform them they are driving under the influence. I mean, how would that phone call even go?
People don't
call for DWIs. Officers patrol and locate DWIs.
So they're targeting the drivers, kind of like a predatory.
That is
Targeting predatorily? She didn't say anything remotely close to that. But how can anyone argue that police should not at least be observing drivers driving erratically on the roads?
And I want to be very clear, because I'm a very articulate person. I understand how to apply the law and understand the law.
Well, that's
and
good.
I'm not going to stand here and have you twist my words. You asked me a question. I simply answered it.
Well, we're not twisting your words. We're just trying to.
So how does the car get pulled over then? How are the cars getting pulled over?
Here in Kennedale.
Traffic offenses.
Traffic offenses?
Yeah.
So are people calling you for traffic offenses?
No, that's part of being a police officer.
You know what that shows the public, though? That you guys are trying to get out here and get money for the city's annual budget. You're not actually being called out there.
The city.
If somebody does, people don't care about DUI.
Do you?
Cody says people don't care about DUI. Just an unbelievable statement. Texas is currently the 5th worst state in terms of DUI deaths per capita. According to the Texas Department of Transportation, one person in Texas dies every 8 hours and 31 minutes in a DUI alcohol-related traffic crash. Last year, 1,029 people in Texas were killed and 2,522 seriously injured because someone chose to get behind the wheel while being impaired. Before making such outlandish statements, maybe Cody could inquire with those families if they care about drinking and driving. I have a suspicion they don't share the same sentiment.
How much money do you think
Thousands of thousands.
A city.
Easily thousands.
Just for one person.
Not the city.
The city's annual budget?
Has nothing to do with DWIs.
So you don't get any fines and forfeitures for the state then? I know that's a lie because every person that gets found guilty of a DUI has to pay fines or have to pay bond. There's money.
That doesn't go to us.
It doesn't go to you, but you guys are getting it for somebody else. Like the money we're getting here, we're sending to Ukraine. They didn't do nothing for that money.
So tell us how.
And there it is. Cody is of the belief that the court costs and fees from this Texas town are somehow going to Ukraine. I'm not sure why I'm surprised, given the fact Cody himself let us all know he doesn't pay state taxes or federal taxes. This from his $500 million lawsuit that was eventually dismissed after only a couple of months, claiming he didn't make a single dollar last year, and he doesn't see that changing for this calendar year. Cody, I think you're in the clear here, buddy. None of your non-existent tax dollars are heading to Eastern Europe.
Then you come out.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
So if I see someone run a red light and potentially hit someone, I shouldn't stop them for that? I should just let them go?
If you see a crime happening.
Okay.
But what's happening with these...
crashes at that red light, sure,
But
take
if they
the car.
run it, I should just let them run it and let them go?
Yes, absolutely.
Really,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Even
you
though
should.
the transportation code says that's an offense, it's a traffic
Well,
offense?
you know, the Supreme
A lot
Court...
of those transportation codes are unconstitutional anyways.
Okay.
You know
Well,
Danforth versus
I
Tech Line? You
will-
want to talk law? You know Danforth versus Tech Line, what that is?
A what?
Danforth versus Tech Line is a Supreme Court ruling.
Yes, my new favorite Supreme Court, Mississippi Supreme Court case from 1940, brought to us by the one and only Chili de Castro. His stupidity is spreading, but I'm not sure if I should laugh or cry about that. I'll probably just laugh about it. If you haven't seen my breakdown of this case, please see the description below. A handful of people were actually challenging Cody on this case in the comment section below, and Cody responded with this. He says, it does state you have a right to travel on the road, and it is a right. I don't think you read the law all the way. So back and do some research. Thank you for sharing your opinion, though. I'm a freedom fighter, and I don't support oppression and slavery. The judge in that case does say you have a right to travel on the road. It doesn't say anything about driving on the road. You're welcome to walk all over that road all you'd like. Or you could take the bus. I don't care. But it doesn't say a single thing about driving, and it wasn't even in the holding. The holding had nothing to do with driving on the road at all. And once again, it was a Mississippi Supreme Court case from 1940 that's been cited quite a few times, but only Mississippi, and nothing to do with the right to travel. I also love how he claims he's a freedom fighter. Boy, has that term been bastardized over the years. Cody, you are not a freedom fighter. You are simply a two-bit criminal that feels he's empowered because he carries a little camera around to berate public employees that you don't pay for.
All day long.
I'll tell you what it
Okay,
is.
so-
I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
It basically, the Supreme Court ruled that you don't have to have a driver's license to operate a motor vehicle. You know, the
So-
Supreme Court did rule you don't have to have a driver's license to drive.
So
They've ruled that
is
multiple
fun
times.
as fun as this has been.
I really hope my new best friend Cody goes full soft sit because the content will be absolutely amazing. If you promise to do this, Cody, I'll make a promise to you. I'll pay for any soft sit guru of your choosing for their material. It will be all yours, free of charge. All you have to do is film everything and put it on YouTube. Okay, so he rambles on for about 20 more minutes, questioning DUIs more, twisting the words of the officer, essentially just wasting a lot of time. But then the video abruptly quits and he promises a part 2. But part 2 never materialized. I wonder why. Cody writes on his community tab, he says, sad news y'all, the second part of the video I did of the Kennedale Police Department got corrupted and deleted again from my phone. This is the second time this happened this month. Something strange is going on with my phone and I'm currently trying to figure out what's going on or getting a new one altogether. If you guys have anything you can spare to get me a new phone to keep bringing this content to you, my Cash App is ... I just love a good begging post. Their sob stories are always the same. And this video really had it all. Our little auditor, seen here cosplaying as a tomato, let us all know that drinking and driving is A-okay. The monies coming from the Kennedale Police Department are going straight to support the war effort in Ukraine. That the Supreme Court has ruled there's no need for a driver's license, quoting my favorite court case, Tesh Lyons versus Danforth, and ending it with some sweet e-begging. Never stop being you, Cody. You are clearly our best chance to free us of this oppression and slavery. Okay guys, I think that's going to wrap it up today. I know this video didn't have quite the amount of action you guys are accustomed to, but I for one always find Cody High Roller very entertaining. To see similar content in the future, please consider subscribing, notifying, liking, and commenting below. This is John Tesh, and I'll see you guys on the next one.